Let's go.
Hey guys, all the way with Alloway here with the director of Crystal Fairy, Sebastian Silva. How you doing?
Guys. I'm doing fine, thank you.
Well, congratulations on the film. It's been quite a hit. Tell us a little bit about what it's about, since no one out there has seen it yet.
Yeah, Crystal Fairy and the Magical Cactus in 2012. It's about Jamie, who's played by Michael Cera, and his friends are gonna they're in Chile and they're going to the desert to take mescaline in this cactus, and they invite a woman along who's a hippie girl from San Francisco that goes by the name of Crystal Fairy, right? And basically the movie, it's about them, specifically the character of Michael Cera, Jamie, accepting how this woman behaves and who she really is. And it's a movie about, I guess, acceptance and hallucinogenic drugs and compassion or something like that. Yeah.
Sold.
Okay.
So I talked to Michael on the red carpet, and of course I asked the question, what was your reaction when you first read the script? And he's like, well, there wasn't a script, there's an outline. Yeah. So where did that kind of start? Why did you decide not to have a script? Was it kind of...
I mean, we actually didn't have the time. I didn't have the time to write a screenplay because it was such a spontaneous idea, and everything happened really fast. We were waiting to make Magic down in Chile, and just production was getting delayed, and Michael had been there for a while, so I invited him to do something else, right? And that was Crystal Fairy. And Crystal Fairy is based on something that happened to me a long time ago, whatever, 10 years ago. So it's an anecdote that it has roots, you know. So it's not something that I just pull out of my ass. It's actually a story that I remember really vividly, and I remember all of the little events that the story had. So I wrote that down, and I fill in the blanks, whatever was missing, and I develop a little every arc of each character through this outline. So it was improvised, but not that much. I mean, honestly, I think probably maybe 30% of the dialogue is improvised, but the rest we would talk about it before shooting. You know, it wasn't written, but it was definitely thought out. It was planned. Yeah, you can tell. I mean, if you watch the movie, it would be too amazing, too miraculous for things to work out so perfectly, because the dynamics really are working really nicely, right? They're very smooth, and they do develop in a very specific way, and so yeah, all of that was thought out. You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, well, it can't be all improvised because there is such a solid story. Michael and Gaby have this incredible chemistry that's like a frenemy chemistry in a way. Yeah, it's great.
I've never heard that word before. I like that.
Frenemy. Yeah. And so did you, when you decided to make the movie, did you know, where you said it's got to be Michael, it's got to be Gaby, or did they kind of come up in the casting process?
It was really, it's got to be Gaby. That for sure. I remember when I flew from New York to Chile to start the production of Magic. I knew that maybe the production was going to get delayed, so before I left, I told Gaby about this project, and I'm like, there is this story that happened to me. I told her about Crystal Fairy, and I told her maybe we're going to end up making a road movie. Would you be down for playing Crystal Fairy? And she's like, yeah, whatever you want, just give me a call. I'm going to fly to Chile whenever you want to shoot this. And that's exactly what happened. And yeah, I thought of Michael too, and I asked him if he would be down for playing me in the movie, and he agreed. Why wouldn't he? It was so much fun.
Exactly.
It was so much fun. He was already in Chile. We didn't know at that time if Magic was actually going to happen or not. So we wanted to collaborate in something a little longer, because we had collaborated in a show for HBO before, but very briefly. So we wanted to have a more solid collaboration, and this really seemed like the perfect project. It was so much fun and simple, and we didn't have to ask anybody anything. It was great.
And you guys shot in 12 days?
Yeah, we shot it really fast. Yeah.
And your brothers are in the film?
Yeah, my brothers are in the film. They are actually playing, because this story, the real story, it was just me, my best friend, Crystal Fairy. So the brothers are representing my best friend, and I like that how they sort of represent one entity. It's like the brothers. I love that. So it's Michael, I mean, it's Jamie, Crystal Fairy, and the brothers. And I think that worked really well. They really are like a six-armed creature, you know? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I love the moment when, well, because they're all such very different characters, and, you know, they clash, and they clash, but then they come together, and it's, like, great to watch. I love the moment when they're sitting around the campfire before taking the San Pedro, and Crystal Fairy's talking about what she ultimately fears, and then you pan to see your brother, and his face is like,
yeah, what is she saying?
Translate. And I thought that was great, that, you know, you could tell that the whole cast had, you know, they were comfortable with each other, and specifically Michael Cera, you said he's playing you, and he's such a very obsessive character. So where does the seed of his obsession come from?
I think he's trying to find an experience beyond himself or something, you know, like, but his take on it is so infantile, you know, when he's talking about Aldous Huxley, Doors of Perception, his take on it is just so childish and immature, you know.
And talking about it at a party while you're snorting coke, it's like, well, if you're gonna have an intellectual conversation, it's not gonna be
exactly. But yeah, Michael was actually the one that came up with the idea that Jamie should be one of those guys that are constantly talking about drugs and their effects and their their chemistry. You know, there's so many of those people that are obsessed with drugs and are boring everyone around them about the details of drugs.
Well, it's those people that I remember being at a party and talking to this guy, and I realized by the end of the 30-minute conversation, every avenue came back to drugs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you need to be, like, rescued. And I think, in a way, Crystal Fairy rescues Jamie.
I mean, Crystal Fairy shows Jamie something else. I don't think, personally, that Jamie's a drug addict. And, like, these movies, from some press, I think, it's been misconceived and misunderstood by a druggy movie, which is so...
Oh, I don't think it is.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think that's a very superficial take on the movie, because the fact that they are going to do mescaline and they're getting a cactus, I mean, it is important, but it's really a MacGuffin, you know. It's not really the point. The point is more, as you were saying, Jamie's obsession and what is it that he learns from Crystal Fairy and Crystal Fairy learned from herself, and the judgment that Jamie has on her, you know. Finally, Jamie being judgmental with Crystal Fairy is something that comes out as a positive thing for Crystal Fairy, I think, you know. She knows that trying to bring a rabbit back to life, it's impossible. She really knows in the back of her head. So Jamie,
I love that moment. She's like chapping her hands, trying to bring back this rabbit.
She's really trying.
And you want it to come to life, but you're like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, those things just don't happen.
No.
You know? So Jamie knows that, and he shares it really acidly with her, and he hurts her, you know, but maybe some people need to hear the truth that way sometimes, you know. So I guess Jamie's judgmental, but I don't think the movie is judgmental.
I mean, to me, and I think it's so cool to see a movie like this at Sundance, where you're constantly, you know, you're walking down the street or you're on the shuttle and you meet these people and you have these, like, really amazing conversations with them, and from a fleeting moment they kind of change you. And I think that's what the story is when Crystal Fairy, I don't want to give away the end, but with the end you kind of leave going, this was a fleeting moment in time where both these two characters grew together. Was that your relationship in real life?
Yeah, that's what happened with her. There was never that much confrontation between me and Crystal. We were actually really good friends, and I was a fairy myself by that time, you know.
Did you call her Crystal Harry?
No.
That was the best part.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
I don't want to give anything away.
No, we actually like Crystal Harry so much that we also thought that we could name the movie that, but I think Crystal Fairy is better. Crystal Harry is just too weird.
It's too weird.
Yeah, it's too weird.
It would draw attention to the wrong places in the movie.
Yeah. It's just, what is it? Crystal Harry, and it's like the words are just weird. It should be Harry Crystal, you know.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the film, and Magic comes out now. Does the film has distribution yet?
I think it has. I think Sony pre-bought it, but they're still thinking about it. Yeah, I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, it's being released now this coming Tuesday, so I'm very excited.
Great.
Yeah.
And Sebastian Silva for Crystal Fairy, Sundance 2013.